Oh yes, I just finished watching Season 2, Episode 2 of Solo Leveling, and oh boy, yeah, this battle was good. I definitely enjoyed it. Before we get to the battle though, and discuss that, I was very, very interested and intrigued by the small tidbits of the system we get to potentially know more about in this episode. So let's jump right into that, the system. First of all, we get to understand that, oh, Sung is actually inadvertently speaking the monster or whatnot language with the Ice Elf boss. And as Sung surmises, this is because the system is automatically translating it for him back and forth, even though, of course, the other adventurers don't understand anything he's saying, or either of them are saying. Now, from this, we continue on to when Sung is talking to this elf boss. What becomes even more interesting is that, okay, so the elf boss is questioning why Sung is even protecting these people because he himself isn't human, which of course Sung is a bit confused, but apparently, as the elf explains, that, hey, yeah, I mean, we ice elves, we get sort of guided to kill humans, always, but we don't have that urge towards you, ergo you must not be human. Now, that is a very interesting question, or it raises rather many interesting questions. So, has this system made Sung not human? Like, is he still human? Or has he sort of been transformed in some way and formed into more of a magic monster, though he still, of course, remains human on the outside? Or is the system protecting him, perhaps, from being just attacked by very high-ranked monsters, for now anyway, while it is still coddling him and, I suppose, letting him level up to be stronger for some future purpose? I mean, the whole concept of the system and this enigmatic entity that the system might be and how it wants to utilize Sung is still a very, very major mystery, at least to us anime watchers. And I do wonder why exactly things like the Ice Elf here explains why they are a thing. Hopefully we'll get way more info on that in the future. And speaking of information, right when Sung asks the Ice Elf, why are you doing this? And tries to get some information out of him, perhaps about the system or about monsters and stuff in general, or about the gates in general, who knows? The boss literally bugs out like part of a video game before repeating his previous line about fighting him, which again begs the question of, okay, interesting. So you're saying, or, well, you're showing us that the system has the power to literally, glitch out monsters to prevent them from leaking information it doesn't want our MC Sung to know about? Question mark? What could he have possibly said that was worth censoring over? It also seems, from the reaction of Sung but no one else, that no one else noticed this glitching for whatever reason. So maybe it's something only Sung was able to see. It's a bit unclear to me, but it's very, very interesting and something I really want to delve into way more in the future, in this season and potential future seasons. I'm really, really intrigued to know more about the system, how the system works, what the system wants. Is the system a specific entity? Is it some enigmatic being? Is it something else? Why is it doing what it's doing? What does it want with Sung, etc., etc., etc.? A lot of interesting things here to discuss, and I hope we get more info on that in the future episodes so we can do some more theory crafting. I mean, did, for example, the system make this red gate on purpose to force Sung to have this battle? Who knows? But I'm very intrigued to learn and find out more. Moving on from that, I also have to give props to the S ranks, so to speak, in this episode, and the power of S ranks and how they showcase that in this episode. I generally don't like when clearly powerful characters actually use their powers or their skills to showcase how powerful they are. Because when you are powerful enough, like when you are really powerful, you don't really need to showcase your strength, because literally just existing, a single look, a single touch, a single simple move is all it takes to showcase just how crazy OP you are, and to showcase that in sort of intensity to your opponent and ergo the audience. I do love the specific scene when Sung comes out of the gate at the end of the episode, and when Bayek, I believe his name is, the head of the Tiger Guild, wants to ask him some questions, why are everyone else dead? But Sung shrugs him off, right? And of course, he isn't really gonna accept that, and hey, that wasn't a question, that's an order, or more likely a threat, if you don't listen to me. But just that simple, him grabbing after Sung after the fact with his claws semi-out, showing he is somewhat serious, right? And of course, the intensity in his eyes, looking at Sung, and then Sung just turning around, and then again, with the intensity in his eyes, also them using colors in this case to really emphasize that fact, says so much about these two characters, how powerful they both are, and it also communicates that to each other, not just the audience, which of course ends with them also both backing down before things get out of control. But I do just love how they are showcasing that. Instead of it being obvious and explained or overdone, it's simply just, yeah, you don't need to say more because we get it. They get it and we get it. Like, these people are not to be messed with. And I hope we can get way more of those sort of subtle yet intense interactions moving forward. We do see some of the same interaction, though much more direct and obvious, between Baek and Wang. God, I forget their names. But the S rank that wants to kill Sung earlier in the episode, when they almost start to kill each other before the A rank steps in between them, thanking them for holding back just enough so he wasn't squished into a bug between them. But that again as well, even while it was more direct and more, let's say, showcasing their strength, it was still relatively restrained. And they didn't really do more than throw one punch, but you could still see, like, these people mean business. These people are incredibly dangerous. Like, you don't want to see them actually fight, because that would be a calamity. That does also bring up the question, though, because it felt like Sung had a similar energy to both of them when they had that interaction with Baek and him at the end of the episode. So does that indicate that Sung at this point is closing in on S rank power? I suppose he must be. We're just going to be interesting to see how he has interactions later in the season to prove or showcase how much of an S rank he is at this point, or will be, or how much he's still lacking to get to that stage. Another note, though, I want to bring up is that apparently Wang Dun-so, oh god, names, the S rank that wants to kill Sung. It says in one comment that no, killing Sung is just an excuse. He actually believes that the rich kid from the construction company killed his brother, and that's who he actually wants to kill. But he just likes killing people, I guess, so that's why he is saying it's Sung first to use it as an excuse to kill him. I'm not quite sure where they want to go with that, if he actually himself believes that, or if he's just saying that for whatever reason. We'll have to follow along the rest of the season to see exactly if that had any real meaning or not, or if it was just more of a passing comment. Now, before we move on to the battle, though, if you are liking the video, do please remember to like and subscribe. It greatly helps out the channel, so thank you for that support. Now, let's talk a bit about the battle, because, oh yes, we got a nice, good, clean, fresh battle in this episode. I did overall quite enjoy it, and it was tactically solved well, also, I have to say. First of all, I have to ask, since he got all those bears, including the boss bear, which I don't think he used, did he? I didn't see it in this fight. Did he fill up his slots? And when we know he has a certain number of max slots he can use, did he max it out again? Or does he still have open slots? I mean, he must have at least one open slot, because he tried to recruit the elf boss, though he failed. So it can't be maxed out, but I would like to see how many spots he has open, and exactly how many bears he actually recruited, because I like knowing all these tiny specific things. Maybe that's just me. I also wonder if, like, the bears or any unit, no matter how powerful, counts as one. I suppose they do. That also brings us to our poor A-rank Kim, though. Yeah, he had a bit of a mental break this episode, I have to say. Tried to basically murder the other adventurers before Sung steps in and, well, literally throws him across the ice there like a ragdoll. Like a very weak ragdoll on top of that. And that just causes him to have a further mental breakdown to then try to kill Sung again, which, yeah, obviously doesn't end well later in the fight. Before we get to that, though, yeah, this fight was overall good. We got, you know, that start sort of having the infantry units and the bears fighting the other elves before Sung takes on the boss. Before he takes on the boss, though, I did quite like that very quick interactions. Like, yeah, this guy here, you know, he says you're powerful. You're like the only powerful person here, so he wants to fight you. And the second he says that, Sung just cuts his head off in a single, like, 0.1 second motion. Okay, he wanted to fight me. Is that all? Anyone else? Like, damn, Sung. Our boy is, making quick work of these people. Or elves, rather. Like, goddamn. He's not messing about. But of course, no, it does end with him having a boss fight, which is what was expected. And apparently, the boss is quite strong. Because apparently, Sung says that, hey, I can't defeat him alone. No way. even with Igris, it's still not going to be enough. Which is how, in the middle of the fight, when Kim wakes up again and then tries again to murder Sung, he uses that in a very smart way, thinking like, well, I'm not going to save this guy. I'm just going to kill him, resurrect him, and use him, because he's still A rank, so he's relatively strong, and then use him in my army to then have enough versatility and strength to actually take this boss on. And I do love that for a lot of different reasons. In the fight logic itself, I think it's great, because I love when fights utilize mechanics that have been established in the universe, and that they actually utilize what the character has at his disposal at this time. You know, he is using his newly gained sort of frontline tank to draw aggro, and then to also hold him firm, while his mages that he also has from before uses long-range attacks and magic to hurt the elf boss, and then using Igris to further do more damage before himself also getting involved, getting a finishing blow in, etc. I just like him actually utilizing everything he has at his disposal instead of just going 1v1 when he doesn't need to, right? That's something a lot of anime, especially power fantasy, overlook, but something I still appreciate when they actually take the time to think about how a fight from a logical standpoint should play out, if you know what I mean. Also though, on the point of him killing the A rank, that was interesting, because yeah, I mean, he just killed him pretty easily and simply. And he even comments on that at the end of the episode, like, huh, that was my third. Like, his third time killing someone. And he did it pretty nonchalantly. Like, he doesn't seem impacted by it. He doesn't really seem to feel any remorse or any really emotional attachment to him killing this person, even if he was a dick or a douchebag. And that presents an interesting case of, okay, is he becoming less and less human? Question mark. Is he just becoming more and more sort of stoic, void of emotion, and losing, let's say, his humanity in some way and form? Not sure, but it's very interesting to see how his mental changes might come about here as he ends up in more and more situations where he has to kill or ends up killing other humans, etc., and how much further that will drive him, mentally speaking, down the line in the season and potentially future seasons. I do also like him killing the A rank on the basis of, yeah, I mean, most similar anime will just let the MC play the good guy, right? Even if this douchebag character that is Kim, literally trying to kill your MC here in the middle of a very stressful fight, it will still just, maybe they'll kick him or hurt him, but not kill him. Still save him because, you know, you're a good guy MC and you can't do that sort of thing. But here, it's like, no hesitation. I mean, the show doesn't even really comment on it, just literally kills him and uses it for his own advantage after resurrecting him to win the battle. Just that change of attitude and different way of doing things than most other relatively similar anime, concept-wise anyway, is something I really appreciate. Because yeah, it makes sense. Mentally speaking, he has killed before, so it's not like he can't do it. It serves a good purpose of him later looking back and seeing how far he has come, so to speak, in terms of, well, being okay killing people, question mark. And it serves a tactical purpose for him to win the battle at hand, and it comes to show us, the audience, a bit more about his current mental state and what it might be like. And yeah, the battle, happy with it, and that does end with the gate closing because they defeated the boss. Well, Sung did, everyone else did literally nothing, but never mind. And that brings us to the last big point of this video, which is the comedic relief. I actually didn't expect this, at all, but the comedic relief moments have been pretty great actually. I've actually really enjoyed them in episode 1 and 2, especially episode 2, where I think they played them up a bit more. Just these small moments in the middle of the fight, at the end of the fight, and throughout the episode really helps to bring the tension down a bit, even just for a moment, and bring a smile to your face, a laugh, and then you can go back and forth using that comedic relief as an intermediary to help you de-stress and not completely be on edge always, right, at the edge of your seat watching something. And they've done it really well in this episode and this season so far, especially this episode. For example, just a simple moment of the young wife, which I forget the name of, talking to Parks, like, so, Miss, our hunter battles always like this. No, they're not, my young child. Or just the end of boss fight moment where the shadows have this sort of interplay where Sung tells the resurrected A-rank Kim to restrain himself since he keeps bonking this dead elf on the head with his massive hammer, and the comedic interplay between the shadows there. And then also just the, yes, cliche, but over the top end of the episode comedic moment when the wealthy kid, when the young waifu is picked up and, you know, they talk about last night, how she didn't get any sleep, and yes, you know the shtick. Classic misunderstanding, but still brought a big smile to my face and a lot of laughs, even though it's a pretty cliche thing to do. It still made me very, very entertained. Also, that response though, when he asks or says, you know she's underage, right? And Sung just responding, and holy giga Chad. God damn it, dude. God damn it. I mean, technically, I guess it doesn't really matter if she is jailbait, because he is so powerful he could just wreck the entire police station and court system, so no one would really actually do anything about it in reality here. Anyways, moving on. Also, another small note, the waifu there, putting on eyeshadow and other makeup, yeah, she wants our boy Sung bad. Very bad. But yes, back on the comedic relief, they just do it really well, I feel like, in this episode. They have these very short but impactful moments of comedic relief between more serious battle scenes or tense moments, which helps to lighten the mood, bring you down a bit from being at the edge of your seat before going back up again. And I think that is good for pacing, for not really tiring you out, being always super focused on something tense happening on screen. And if they keep up that interplay throughout the season, I think that's going to really just add to the quality and enjoyment of the season as a whole. There were also a few other minor moments in this episode I wanted to make a quick note of. First is when the red gate opens up and people come through again, right? And Baek is like, oh, I knew you could do it, Kim. I knew you could save them. Yeah, no, not exactly. Hopes and dreams absolutely dashed in a second. Oh boy. Yeah, Baek, no. They didn't actually do anything. No, sorry about that one. Hope denied. Also, very important to note here that the higher-ups are starting to notice our boy Sung, because as Baek says, bring this guy to our agency, no matter the cost, okay? He's clearly the main character of this story. We need him right now. I also understand Sung being a bit mad about, apparently he didn't get the alpha boss, right? As a pet or in his army. He was too powerful, apparently. And that did sour his mood, which did lead to the confrontation with Baek, I suppose, at the end of the episode. But, I mean, I get it, I would also be a bit mad if I would have lost that powerful of a pet, so to speak, or underling. It happens to those Sung, it happens. Anyhow, though, as a whole, I have to say, episode 2, solid. Enjoy the battle. Very interested to see what's going to come next now that people are starting to notice him. People are starting to see he is literally cracked AF and needs to be recruited by everyone, and how that leads to him doing many, many more things in the rest of the season without speculating too much. Anyhow, though, what do you think of episode 2 of season 2? Like it, hate it, leave all those thoughts down below. And if you enjoyed the video, do please remember as always to like and subscribe and click on whatever video things on the screen that might be on right now. Deeply appreciate all the support. And if you want to be extra supportive, check out my Patreon in the description down below here and join me on there. And if you want to be extra supportive, you can also donate some on a monthly basis. Deeply appreciate that, and helps me and enables me to make more of this content on a more regular basis. With that being said, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you have a nice day, keep watching anime, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.